Narayanaya. This is Vedic Astrology Sidereal Zodiac, and we're going to be talking about May in review. My name is Aurélie. I'm a Vedic astrologer. All right, so May, we're in spring, right? This is springtime. This is Venus time. This is dresses and traveling and a little bit of flirting with the world, you know, even if it's not, if you don't have a significant other and maybe flirting isn't part of your journey with a person, it's just this flirtation with the world, this joy, this a little bit of wind that comes and brushes on your cheek, you know, or moves around your beautiful dress or hair, and there's just something very beautiful and very flirtatious, romantic about all the flowers, everything blooming, the season of spring. Yeah. The beautiful sense. It's very Mercury, very Rajasic. Yeah. Rajasic is the energy of creation in the world. Okay. We also don't want too much of it because we need a balance in our life. But this is very much the season for this. To come to life, to be a part of our life. Okay. So let's see. One note, please note this is the beginning of May and then this is the end of May. So don't get mixed up. We're gonna start here. So Mercury is going to start its journey in Aries. Most importantly, all the planets are kind of untangling and moving away from the big bundle we've had in Pisces. So that's really sweet. It's just showing that situations are untangling and new opportunities. And it's almost like, you know, the cards that we've been handed are really being reshuffled and new opportunities are coming. So we're coming up to this full moon. It's a full moon right in Libra. And again, so it's a Venus sign. It's very influenced by airy energy at the moment. And what that means is it can make people extra lustful. So just channel, you know, if you're getting that creative energy, try to rechannel it so that you can create with the world. You can be in harmony with the world and not fall into kind of the tamasic energy of just this desire, lustful. You know, there's a balance with that. There is beauty of the sensuality shared in love, but there is also another coin where it just overboard. Okay, so there needs to be a balance, especially with this full moon coming up, especially with Venus being under so much airy energy that can push towards the lustful side. But do enjoy. It's going to be beautiful. The moon is going to be full. It is May, it's spring. Put on a dress, put a little lipstick, enjoy yourself, listen to music, go see you know, an art if you don't like, you know, what the people like, going out to dinner and then drinking wine and the music stuff. You can take yourself to the museum. You can take yourself to a beautiful place in nature and be with that and watch the flowers, whatever is that Venus in your life, you know, however it's being expressed. And don't forget that Venus also has to do with devotion. It has a strong connotation with our ability to be like a blooming flower in front of God, a blooming devotion where your heart is overflowing into this devotional energy. So that's definitely going to be strong, especially for, you know, if you're on the spiritual journey. And it's a beautiful way to channel kind of that creativity, that love, and that bhakti, you know? All right, so we have this beautiful full moon coming up, and I'll do a full report on that. So that's coming up on the 12th, and then a few days after, we're going to have Jupiter, who's going to move into a new sign, which is significant. You know, it doesn't happen every day. So Jupiter is going to be now going into Gemini. Jupiter is the planet that brings luck. It brings good luck. It brings good things. It brings ease wherever it goes. And we love Jupiter. I've had, you know, I had a beautiful client of mine, and there was Jupiter was influencing, you know, the 4th house, and she moved, and she was like, yeah, you know, I've been wanting to move to this area for a while, and then this one friend of mine had an apartment there, and it just worked out, and we just called each other, and I got the apartment, and I was like, oh my God. That's so Jupiter. It's like, just someone just calls me that I know, and it's easy and it flows, and there's this spaciousness. Jupiter rules over Akasha, right, over space. So there was for her the spaciousness. Did she have to look online for like weeks and put little notes on different apartments and try to figure out how to fill out her application and go visit the place? It was just like so easy. There was an ease and luck, involved. So be aware of that. Now it's Gemini's turn. I always take this to people, the wheel of fortune moves and changes throughout our lives. And some years we're more lucky, some years a little less. And we all kind of take turn at this luck. We all take turns at being happy on some level. And so there's a shift and a shift of change. That's always a wind of change that's always with us. So now it's the turn for Gemini. Okay, beautiful Gemini, beautiful, fun, playful. Gemini has a fun, playful entertainment industry. This is really good for a lot of people within the entertainment industry. Will have a lot of Gemini energy, Gemini planet. It rules that third house, third sign energy. But also for music, pull out beautiful music, beautiful art, yeah, things like that. And so Jupiter is going to begin its journey in Gemini. It's going to have aspects on different houses. We'll go into that, but that's on May 14th, right after the full moon. And then on that day, it's also Sankranti, which is the day the sun moves into a new sign. Now, please don't start new things on Sankranti. Sankranti, when the sun begins its journey into a new sign, which is on May 14th, it's not a great day to begin a project. So for example, I'm not going to be launching a course, launching something big, signing a house, buying a car, like big things. I'm not saying, don't do anything on that day. It's just don't begin really important projects. Don't launch them into the world where you want to see them grow, because we need a strong sun for that, okay? And a few days later, we're going to have Rahu and Ketu are shifting. Now, people calculate Rahu and Ketu a little bit differently. If you're doing true nodes or mean nodes, it has a little bit of a oscillation. So there's two different calculations, but overall, one of them is shifting on May 18th and one of them will shift on a couple weeks after. But we're in a season from May 18th, we're in a season where Rahu and Ketu are shifting into Aquarius and Leo. That's significant. Always, always I follow my clients come. I always want to know where the nodes are. But do you see, it's like this full moon, the sun is moving sign, Rahu and Ketu is shifting. So it's almost like Jupiter is changing, and it's like, the cards are being reshuffled. New opportunities are going to be opening up where things were closed before. Things that were open before are going to close. So there's a bit of a reshuffle over like what's going on, and it's spring, so it's a time of that energy. So if you've been wanting to really manifest things after this eclipse season, after this big Rahu-Saturn conjunction, now things are going to start really shifting into maybe some things you had in mind, maybe wanting to move. Things are going to open up a bit more for those opportunities to be with you. Because truly the cards are being reshuffled over what's open and what's closed, yeah? And Rahu and Ketu, wherever Rahu and Ketu is, the eclipses are going to be, okay? That's the most important thing, okay? If you are Aquarius and Leo and you have any mental health difficulty, the eclipses are going to be right over your first house. If you have a lot of placements in Aquarius and Leo and you have, again, mental health challenge, you've had mental health challenges, you can do Ganesha Puja. As we get into this May 18th date, I'm going to put a link below. That's really good to help with the coming eclipses, or you can do it before the eclipses. I get my clients to do that, and it really helps to just be able to overcome the obstacles that are going to be brought up by the eclipses, okay? You just need to be a little mindful and do a little extra to make sure you stay balanced in those seasons. And when the eclipses come, if you're either Aquarius or Leo, you stay grounded, you do things simple. I don't want you to be, if you do have mental health difficulties, when the eclipses come and you are Aquarius or Leo, then you don't need to be doing some crazy thing during the eclipse. You know what I mean? It's like this is a time where you're home, you have a few more appointments with your therapist, you're doing the things that make you feel balanced and good and grounded, and you're putting a little extra energy to eat the right things, and you're taking extra care of yourself so that you feel good throughout the season of eclipse, okay? So Rahu and Ketu are going to be in those signs for a year and a half. Okay, so Jupiter is about a year. Rahu-Ketu is a year and a half. So those are, they're both changing a few days apart from each other. So again, we're talking about new opportunities, things shifting. Okay, and it could also be that around that time, this full moon comes and you're like, have again this awareness of like getting more clear of what you want, where you want to go, and really being ready to take action for change, and that's okay. You have to be kind to yourself and be honest with where you're at, what you want, and where you're going. And the truth is that changes throughout life. And as we go through seasons, we go through different chapters of our lives, different opportunities open, others close. And we have to be flexible and we have to kind of ride the wave, So this could be a season where you're kind of, looking at things that are being reshuffled, but also being more honest with what you want. And taking action on that, not being so scared to move forward with what you now desire, even if it looks different from 6 months ago, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, or what you thought you were walking towards, So like that. Okay. Right. So we talked about this big, starting on May 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. That week is going to be interesting. So lots going on that week. But have a great full moon. Have fun. Have a fun full moon. Take your significant partner out to dance, or take your whole family with the kids to do, I don't know, at this time of the year, to do outdoor movie screenings and do something sweet, whatever that looks like within your means and within where you're at in life and whether you have family or partner or not, but do something sweet. All right. And then Mercury, Mercury's moving so fast, right? That's one of the things about Mercury. We're going to see Jupiter in Gemini, but Mercury's playful, but Mercury is also very fast and changes its mind and has a bit of a dual energy. So that's why playful, we talked about entertainment industry with Mercury, but it has a certain playfulness, yeah? So Mercury is going to be in Taurus as it moves through the zodiac, and that's going to be a few days before we get to the dark moon. So the other side this month, we're going to have a full moon in Libra and a dark moon, new moon in Taurus. Rohini is a little bit of a difficult nakshatra for the world. Especially with, supply chain issues, definitely going to be showing around that time. But, Rohini is the star that shows the nourishment of the world, yeah? Taurus, when the moon is in Taurus, it's exalted, and it's and it has this nourishing aspect. Florence Pugh, she's a Taurus moon, and she's so strong. You can tell the moon, it's like no one tells her who she is. She knows who she is, and she has this strong mind, and you can just tell, and she shows up, and she's just it's amazing. I love it, but I also love exalted moons. I think are my favorite thing. But so we're gonna have a new moon, dark moon in Taurus, and that could show difficulty in that area. But Rohini is incredibly significant for the world because it shows the nourishment. It shows our ability to sustain ourselves, and what's more important, we all need to be fed, we all need to have the things that we need and to be taken care of, and it's a very important nakshatra for mundane astrology. So this one's not, it's gonna show a little bit in that regards, and we'll talk a bit more when we get closer to this dark moon. But and again, dark moons, it's take things easy. Full moon, we want to be out being playful like Mercury. Dark moon, take it easy, stay at home, watch a movie, order a pizza, live your life. But the dark moon is more the energy of going in, and so honor that. Okay, honor the beautiful cycles in this way. And then Venus. Venus is finally moving out of Pisces. It's because it's retrograded in Pisces. It's been in Pisces for such a long time, and it's been close to Saturn and Rahu, and it's finally moving away from all that, you know? And at the end of the month, it's gonna feel like if there's been a lot of stuff in your relationships and your romantic relationships, you're really going to feel like you're finally moving away from all of that. Like you're not going to feel like you're holding on to things. You're finally going to let go of those old, you know, old photos maybe that you've held on to for too long, or old memories that you keep on replaying that you're letting yourself simmer in the back of your mind when you know it's time to let go. And but it's a big, you know, you're moving away from that stuff, moving away from a bit of a chapter where romance and love has been a little bit on the dark side. So if that's been really strong for you and your experience, you'll feel the shift. You know, Venus is moving away from that, and this is from May 31st. In June, the last big one that we're excited to see is Mars is finally going to step out of debilitation, and that's June 6th. So it's a few days in June. We still have a good month, a little more than a month of Mars debilitated. So if you're a Scorpio or Aries rising, there's still a little bit of a dosha, a little bit of tamasic energy that's going to be there. You still need to push yourself a little bit to get things done, to make sure you're staying on top and not getting dragged down by the debilitation of Mars. Okay. Keep on top of things as best as you can, and listen to Hanuman Chalisa. Is really beautiful for any Mars, any monkey, any Mars dosha. Okay, so just be aware of that. And after that, June, July, we're gonna have a little bit of a strong Mars, because Mars is coming with Ketu, but that's more for the world energy. It's gonna be a fiery summer for sure. I will probably see a lot of fires, literally. So just have to be a little extra mindful as we get into it. We have a little bit of a Sarpa combination, but that's not gonna last for too long. That's a couple weeks, and then once Mars is finished with this Mars Ketu conjunction, then we're out of the Kalsarpa. So it's actually a short one. If you're not aware, Kalsarpa is a combination that's not so great for world events. And sometimes it stays for a really long time. In a personal chart, it's very complicated to interpret. It depends. There's like a million different rules, so we're not going to go into that because I don't want to give a blanket statement that's completely that you're going to take to heart overly, because there's a lot of cancellations, combinations. You need to look at D9 and anyways. But Kalsarpa is going to be for a little bit, June, July. So we'll talk about that when it comes to it. But yeah, it's been, I don't know how it's been for you. We've had this big Rahu-Saturn conjunction. It's definitely felt like intense. And it definitely feels like things are slowly untangling personally for me in my life, which is really sweet and a lot clearer. I feel a lot clearer. So I hope you do too, feel a lot clearer on what you want, where you're going. And that's one of the most important things, because that's how, we're always just moving forward, looking forward, moving forward. Sometimes we need to review some of the mistakes we've done a little bit, over the shoulder there, clean up some things that maybe we're still keeping on our back when unnecessarily. Yeah. But overall, it's forward, forward, forward. I always say that to my clients. Forward. Moving forward. All right. So this is May. This is spring. This is the season of sweet weather, warmer weather. All right. Be well, be happy, do your meditation, and have fun. It's spring. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.